In our previous videos, we create a game and a snake, and the snake is randomly inserted in our game. And in this video, we want to move the snake. So for that, I go into my script and I use the coroutines of Unity. And for that, I create a method which returns me an IEnumerator interface, and I call the method move. And inside this method, I use a while loop, which is always running when I start the method. And then I want to wait a second, so I use the yield statement, return new wait for seconds method, and I say I want to wait for 1 second, and then I get a debug log message to the console where I can write snake is moving. So now I call this method in my start method move, save the script, go to Unity, and I start the game. So on the console nothing happens. I go back to my script and we see that I call this method like the other methods, but that's wrong. This is wrong. I want to call this method with a coroutine, so I say start coroutine, and as an argument I use the name of my coroutine, and this is move. So I save the script, I go back to Unity and start the game. Now we see the log message snake is moving, and the counter is counting, so this message is printing every second. Well, this works. The next step is that we implement in our while loop the movement for the snake. But firstly, I need more information about my English snake. We have here parts of snake, which is a dictionary with the tuple of the position and the instance. But I need also the opposite information, so that the key is the image and that the value is this tuple here. So I copy this part here, paste it here, and say this is the tuples dictionary, and I turn the key values of my types. So the key is the image and the value is the tuple. Well, so when I create the snake, I also insert this tuple dictionary, so I say underline snake tuples dot add. The key is the instance and the value is the current position. In this case it is the position of my head. Then I copy this line, insert it into my first middle part. The instance is the image and the position is the position first middle part here. The same thing is for the second middle part. Well, now I have a dictionary called tuples, which I can use here inside my while loop. I need this because I need the positions of my head. So that the snake is moving, I had to determine the next position. So the next position is a tuple with two integer values, and I call it the next position. And it is also a new tuple. And firstly, I need the old position. So for that, I create two variables called position underline x, and this is from our underline snake tuples. And now I need the instance of the head. The instance of the head is saved in the list of parts, and the head is the first element what we have created. So this gives me a tuple back, but I only need the x position, so I use here the item 1. Also I need here the position y, I use here the item 2. And here I can create a new tuple with position x plus 1, and the second item is the position y. So the next position is that the snake is moving on the x-axis. So I increase the next value on the x-axis. And now I have to iterate through each element of the snake and move the current instance to the next position. So for that I use a for loop, and the length of the for loop is the snake list of parts dot count. So if the I is 0, then the current element is the head of the snake, and I say underline snake dot list of parts. I can say I dot transform dot position, and the transform position takes a new vector of the new position, so I can say, so I need a vector for the next position. So I say underline positions. This dictionary contains for each tuple a vector. So I say positions, next positions, and get a new vector. So the next part, so this head, this instance is the head of the snake, and it moves to the next position. All other values are bodies of the snakes. So I say snake dot list of parts, the element I dot transform positions is, and the snake body is always moving to the last position of the previous element. In this case it would be the position of the head. But after I turned the position of the head, I lost the last information where the value position was. So I need here a list with image instances and say last positions is new list, and with a for each loop I can say no, for each item in snake.parts I insert every instance into my new list. This list is only to remember the last positions. So I can say that the next positions is from our snake.tuples, and now I need the instance, and the instance I take from the last positions. If I use the I, I'm at the same element, so I have to use the previous element. I say -1. So we have here 3 brackets. Well, so now every element is moving, and after every element is moving or moved, this dictionary here, these 2 dictionaries here, has the wrong positions. So I have to actualize these 2 dictionaries here. So I copy these 2 lines here, go into my while loop of my coroutine, and create here 2 temporary instances of dictionaries. I call this dictionary the new parts of snake and the new tuples. And every time when I move a part of the snake, I insert in these 2 dictionaries the new positions. So the new parts of snake has as a key the tuple. The tuple is in this case the next position, and the value is the snake list of parts I. That's the head of the snake. The same is in this line, but the next position is here. The tuples with this position information here, and the item is our current item from this list of parts. Then I also have to fill these new tuples here. So I say new tuples dot add. The key is here the instance of the current object. So I use this part here, and the position is the tuple, so the next position. Now I copy this line, and I also insert here the next element, snake list of parts. That's okay, and the next position is this here. Well, after every element has changed the positions, I have to say snake parts of snake is the new parts of snake, and also snake dot tuples. Nope, that's wrong. Tuples is the new tuples object. So now I save the script, I go into Unity, and I start the game. So now we see that the snake is moving to the right direction, so I have here elements. That's the reason for this exception, so I start the game a second time. Okay, I have to need a snake, yes. Now we see the snake is moving to the right direction, and after I reach this corner here I get an exception because I didn't have a position on this location here. In the next video we add the functionality that I can control the next direction of my snake with the keyboard.